Welcome to the Scottsdale Vibes podcast. I'm Alicia Haygood. What if healing really didn't start with words, but with the connection? And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to explore how Hunkapi programs are helping first responders, military members, and veterans regulate stress and reconnect through powerful equine-assisted experiences. I'm really excited about this local organization here in Scottsdale. But first, let's talk about our amazing real estate going on here in Scottsdale, because that is ever happening. With over 25 years of experience, our sponsor, Shawn Shackelton, the Shackelton Group, has guided buyers and sellers with straight talk, smart strategy, and data that keeps you ahead of the market. If you want a calm pro who won't let you settle for less, reach out to Shawn at 480-734-7277 or visit theshackletongroup.com and make your next move a winning one. Conversation really is one that speaks to the power of connection, healing, and community. And that's what we love doing here at Scottsdale Vibes. So first responders, active military, and veterans carry an incredible weight through their service. And often the impact of stress goes far beyond what we can see and they can feel as well. And that's where today's guest comes in. Executive Director of Hunkapi Programs, Terra Schaad, is an organization right here in Scottsdale that is doing truly unique and meaningful work. Through trauma-informed equine-assisted programs and somatic practices, they're creating space for people to slow down, regulate our nervous systems, and really reconnect with ourselves in a safe and supportive way. So it's more than traditional approaches. It's experimental healing that really taps into the powerful nonverbal connection between humans and horses. So Terra, I'm very excited that you're here. I've heard of this before. I've ridden horses. I've never done equine therapy though, but they say it kind of starts with the power that the horse, the beast, is known to have over us and kind of regulates us to realize how small we can be in a bigger world with these creatures that can just be there present, and we are not as so present ourselves, right? So welcome to the podcast, and kind of just start at the basic. What is Hunkapi?
Thank you. And good job pronouncing it.
Thank you.
It can be really difficult sometimes. So yeah, good. You didn't even get tongue-tied.
Thanks.
So perfect.
I practiced a lot.
Yes. You need to. Yeah. Hunkapi.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's good to be here. I love sharing about this program. It's truly been one of the biggest honors and has moved me personally as a civilian. It's moved me personally into areas of growth that I didn't know existed. And I feel truly honored that the military veterans, first responders that are coming through have given a civilian like myself the opportunity to get into their inner world. And I take that with a lot of responsibility, because as I'm learning through the 27 cohorts that we've run, that it is not something they always allow people to do.
Interesting. Yeah. To let an outsider in almost.
Yeah. I mean, they carry their responsibility, their protectiveness of us as civilians, their protectiveness over humanity very seriously. And just like all of us wear masks and, have our public facing front.
Yeah.
They have that of hero.
Yeah.
And
really do.
So to allow people to come in and penetrate below that is truly an honor. And it's something they have to allow us to do. So Hunkapi is a farm right up in Scottsdale, and we're a 10-acre farm. We have 30 therapy horses, 2 cows, 2 donkeys, 3 pigs, 10 dogs, and a myriad of chickens.
It's like a partridge in a
Yeah,
pear tree,
exactly.
let's be real.
Yeah. So the farm is quite beautiful in and of itself. It's a healing space. But within that little farm that we get to call home, I have some incredibly talented therapists, some incredibly talented behavioral health techs that are coming in with a real passion to assisting people primarily with post-traumatic stress. Day in and day out, we provide equine-assisted psychotherapy, life skills, and therapeutic writing to about 250 people a week. So
wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot of people. On a busy week, we can see upwards of 500 people between volunteers, groups that are coming in to volunteer at the farm, and our regular volunteers. We might have corporate events that come in that do team building exercises to build leadership and communication and resiliency within their team. And so the farm is quite busy.
Yeah.
But quite sacred to the programs that we run. One of them is for first responders, military, and veterans. The first responders include fire, police, dispatch, county. We have allowed rescue workers to come in, and even some news. I mean, folks.
They see the worst of the worst.
They
right?
do,
Yeah.
and I think that's one of the things that I love about this group, because when you're once they accept you into their group and they really begin to build trust, like then the stories begin to come out. And I actually had a person that was filming a news segment, and he actually asked me, like, would you ever allow us to come in? Because we're right there with the police. We're right there in these, with the terrible car accidents. We're right there in these scenes, and we have to stand there and hold the camera. And like, for me, like, as a civilian, you don't think about
Correct,
that.
right.
You just don't think about it. And I sat there and I was like, oh my gosh, if my police officers coming in are struggling with processing this incident, then how is the person behind the camera that's filming also not having difficulty processing what they're seeing?
So I used to work in the news business. I did international news, and so when the wars were going on in the Middle East in the late 2000s, like 2009 to 11 or whatever, I always told people, what you see is not what we see, right? Like, we get to determine what you see, and there's always a limit to what you can show. And this is different news because it was international, but yeah, it's just like, it's crazy. Yeah. And I was still seeing it on a screen, so I can't even imagine what the camera people, they're seeing as well, kind of thing, that we just see what they send us, and then we decipher from there what to show everyone else. So it is a lot. Yeah.
It is. So, there are a lot of people out there that are seeing things that they just shouldn't see. Like, our body doesn't want to see those things, right? So when it's actually real life.
Yeah.
So we've been fortunate enough to be able to run 27 cohorts. We just wrapped one last night, and we'll run 2 more for this summer, and then have a little hiatus due to the heat. But in the programs, police, fire, dispatch, military, veterans come in, and they are in a 6-week cohort. The cohort remains closed. So once you're in, like, there's not going to be any more entry after week 2. Sometimes we'll allow people to miss the first week, but then after week 2, it's closed. And they're going to go through 6 weeks of really learning and normalizing their nervous system's response to seeing vicarious trauma or to seeing a traumatic event, being directly involved in it, the flight, fight, freeze response. Right. What happens inside of the body when it is exposed to a traumatic event. My number one goal is to normalize the response, and so that we can decrease the amount of guilt, shame, anger, the residual emotions and feelings that come from maybe being stuck in what is they might call anxiety or depression, that trauma response. So I want to normalize that, and so that they know that their body has done its job to protect them, to keep them standing in spite of the many incidents. Like, some of these people are going on 300 calls a month. So when you think about that you are exposed to people's worst day of their life 300 times a month, how can we not honor what this mind and this body is doing to still keep you moving forward? So let's normalize it first, and then teach them how to track that response in their body, and then release it. The horses are so primal in their response to people.
Let's kind of talk about that. What is equine therapy, and like kind of how that came about to help specifically, what your classes and your purpose here?
Yeah. So equine therapy is the utilization of a horse in a therapeutic program to achieve stated treatment goals. So if the the treatment goal is to decrease feelings of anger, increase communication, or decrease the feelings of anxiety. Then we're going to set up the participant or the client with a horse in an activity that's going to promote and facilitate awareness around what that looks like in their life as it's happening in the arena. So we wanted to be able to take what happens in the engagement with the horse out into the world, right? Yeah. Otherwise, we're just playing with horses. So,
which is fine.
Yeah, which is fine. It gets people there,
yeah.
right? But I'm a person that was fortunate enough to have horses as a child. I feel like horses saved my life, but there's something about that safety. The size of the horse gets you present in your body. Like you can't not be aware of your toes when you are around a horse. So if we have somebody coming in that's in some sort of dissociation, they have to get present in their toes or feel where their hands are or be aware of where their body is in time and space, because you don't want to be run over by 1,000 to a 2,000 pound horse, right? Then we can build upon that and build like, how is the horse responding to you? How are you responding to the horse? How does that show up in how you build relationships with people? People that are traumatized have a different approach, and it's difficult for them to build relationships because they're in self-preservation mode. So how can you build connection when you're in self-preservation?
Yeah. Let's talk about somatic practices and nervous system regulation. We kind of were going over that. I love how you just were talking about you have to know where your hands are being placed. You have to feel the rope between them. You have to feel the horse between your legs and in your toes and stuff like that. To start very simply with that and how it works with the PTSD and anxiety, how does that regulate your nervous system to really focus on one small task at a time, right?
So I'll talk about an exercise that I did last night with a group of first responders that were in the farm. So one of the first activities that we do with people is let's just have you approach a horse. Seems very simple. But anytime the horse changes anything in their body, that's their system saying you felt safe from that distance, but not safe from this distance. Horses have the capacity and the capability to feel threat from about 40 feet away. Okay. As humans, we have about 10 feet. Okay, so they can feel, because they're herd animals, they have way bigger radius of where they can feel danger. So if we have this first responder that is coming in with traumatic symptoms, which might be elevated heart rate, elevated respiration rate, activation throughout the muscles, maybe clenching of the jaw, furrowing of the eyebrows, clenching of the fists, shaking legs, readiness to mobilize, that we can have them move towards the horse. Anytime the horse changes, I'm asking them to stop, track what's going on in their system, allow and see the horse's system to deactivate and for them to resume normal horse behavior. Then they walk again. So we call it this pause and approach. So they walk again, walk 2 feet, 10 feet, whatever the distance is that the horse's nervous system is saying they feel safe.
Yeah.
They pause again. And so we get to talk about, so we take that and we allow the horse to finally, I said, don't make contact with the horse. Allow the horse to make contact with you. The sense of relief that comes over people when the horse that finally makes contact with them is actually quite remarkable. But also tracking the thought that's associated with the situation, which is mindfulness, to see a pattern of thought. Sometimes people will think they don't like me.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the thought and we begin to track that 3 times, but really there's just a bag of hay over on the other side of the arena, maybe it's not personal, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they actually like you, but they like hay more.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe their friend subtly put their ears back and that scared the horse and they moved away from the human to get away from the horse, but they're perceiving that the horse doesn't like them, or the horse is mad at me, or I want the horse to love me. I can begin to see pattern of thought just in this activity, right? Wow. And how their orientation towards building relationship is in general in life.
Yeah.
So that begins to give them feedback. And then we begin to discuss also, how fast did you approach the horse? Would you have wanted to approach faster? How much are you over it? Now imagine like every single day you're charging into these situations, into people's nervous systems, or they're charging into your nervous system, and you don't actually have the chance to say, slow down, because we don't do that as humans.
No.
We think it's rude. right?
Right.
But sometimes our system is saying like, there's something that feels really weird about
your
that
gut
person.
reaction.
This is not a good situation, but they have to stand there as a first responder and allow danger or a dangerous nervous system to approach them, or they have to go up to a system that's traumatized. Also doesn't feel good to be around. Okay. So how much is that system actually overriding day in and day out with every single engagement with every single nervous system? A lot.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to connection and presence, right?
100%.
I mean, it really is so basic when you're saying like walk a foot, take 2 feet back, like whatever you need.
Yeah.
To teach that, I mean, thinking about what you said at the beginning as well, to teach that and how that works with relationships, not just your present mind and status. Read the room, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how we say it, is like read the room when you walk in.
Yes.
Kind of associated that. It's hard to take one step and think about that one step and how it feels on your toes and your body and stuff like that. But
absolutely.
the horses do that and help you.
Yeah. Or if you're a mom or a dad that's been on shift for 24 hours, right? And then you come home and you have all these thoughts in your head around, I've been gone for 24 or 48 hours. I need to go in. I need to put my dad hat on. I'm feeling bad because I've been gone. But your system has just endured all of this stress and you feel guilty about asking for a little space.
Right.
So how can I work with the kids to read their parents' system? How can I teach the parents that is the first responder to read their own system, to ask for what they want in a communicative and kind and loving way without it being taken personally? How can we create more cohesion in the family and a language where people say, it's not me, my dad still loves me, he just needs a little space to deactivate after work?
Yeah. You mentioned earlier it's a non-clinical environment. What exactly does that mean? Because I think that word can scare people, right?
Yeah. Well, we're first of all, we meet out on the back lawn, and in the winter months we have a fire going.
Yeah.
We meet around a fire.
I mean,
It's a beautiful lawn.
Yeah.
We have coffee going. We have snacks. We're meeting on a lawn around a fire, and that's how we start our groups. And then we move into the arena. So we're never sitting in an office one-on-one saying, tell me about your traumas. Like, that's just not happening. If people get to the point where they feel like they have the skills that are necessary and they feel ready to process traumas, if there's an incident they want to process, then we can pull them outside of the group and offer them a private one-on-one session in a counseling room where they can have the privacy.
Therapist, like a licensed therapist and everything.
With a licensed therapist. So they're never sitting in a private room just doing one-on-one therapy unless they feel like their system and their heart and their spirit are ready to do that.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. You talk about the participants up to 300 a week. Obviously, you're growing. What are you seeing at the end of 6 weeks from week 1 to week 6 with these first responders?
I see people walking in. Our research is already showing, we see people coming in that are tipping the scales on suicidal ideation. And when they walk out after 6 weeks, it's insignificant.
Wow.
So we're doing pre and post. I'm seeing somatic responsive trauma in the body going from clinically significant scores to less to insignificant scores. I'm seeing people move from isolation and not feeling like they can share anything. Sometimes you look out there after a group and you have all of them sitting in a circle or standing, just talking and sharing and hanging out on the farm for an hour after group because they've become so bonded. Last night I had some firefighters and just tearful coming to me saying that they wanted to continue in this path of somatics to really understand their system. They understood. They finally gained understanding of their anger, the root cause of their anger, and how to create space between and ask for what they needed with their wife and their children. So that they wouldn't explode on them because they were coming in explosive. So to me, when we can begin to restore not only the relationship with self and the confidence and the competency that they feel in themselves, but that can transfer into their home life. And that's going to have a ripple effect of clear communication, of tending to one, because they all want to be good dads.
Well, I mean, I don't think they would be there otherwise, right? No. And when these heroes come to you, because that's what they are in my mind, Do you feel like they're coming to you as a last resort? Do you feel like you're kind of getting, like, what are you getting from them? Is it like, hey, I'm not feeling good, I heard about you, I'm going to try it? Or it's like, I've tried everything else, why not try you guys?
All of it.
Okay.
All of it. I think
there's a stereotype to who they are too. So how are you getting them there? Because for them, I know being in that safe environment around your like-minded people, you can release some, but they're hard-headed.
Yeah.
And for them to ask for help or get to this point, I feel is the first step to success for them.
People come a lot of different ways. Some people are just in such a broken, they feel so broken. I don't want to use that word because I don't think they're broken, but they feel that they feel so broken that they just will do anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes wives refer them in.
Well, I would, like, seriously, I'm like, is it, I mean, it's a non-clinical environment, but like the doctor be like, why don't you, like, here's a non-prescription prescription to go do this kind of thing.
I think one of the cool things about the farm too is we're a grant funded program. And so it doesn't necessitate that they file any sort of into any sort of EAP program where, so they can come in with a lot of privacy.
Okay. Right.
So that is extremely helpful. And also, there are wellness units and chiefs that are out there that are saying, hey, go get help. And it's okay. It's okay. That's starting to slowly change.
Right.
And I'm very happy about that. But people come in for all the reasons that you said, but there have been way too many times where I've heard, I've tried everything and this is my last resort. I think that there are a lot of talented therapists out there. And I think that, not equine therapy is not the end all be all. We have to collaborate as therapists.
Agreed.
But most importantly, we have to create a space where if civilians are treating first responders, we have to educate ourselves and actually what's going on and be humble enough in our craft to say, I don't know the answer. I'm not a first responder, but I'm here with you and I'm standing with you and teach me the ways. Like I might have the clinical skills, but if they don't feel that you can meet them on their level, we can't sit with them. They're just not going to.
No, they're not.
So we have to be humble enough in our approach with them and curious enough about what's going on to truly sit with them.
And I want to bring up too, this is not a program just for first responders. You all do a lot more as well. So talk a little bit about some of the other programs you offer for therapy when it comes to kids, families, the parent-child dynamic, all of those kind of things.
Yeah.
That can be a first responder internalizing, trying to work with kids.
Yeah, sometimes, exactly.
So it's not just for first responders.
No, it's not. So we have recovery groups for folks that are suffering with addiction.
Okay.
We have individual counseling for our community that might be, it might be a teen that's working through body image issues or anxiety or performance as it relates to school. We work with mostly trauma. So folks that are coming to us are coming in with a trauma or a PTSD diagnosis that's current, and we might be working as an adjunct therapist with the horses, and also because of the somatic work we do. So we're very particular to somatic work. There aren't a lot of somatic therapists that are out there.
I love it. How can Scottsdale and the community support you all? What do you need from us? I think word of mouth is the biggest thing, because I think people asking for help with their mental health is still kind of a taboo. I mean, I'm very open about my therapist, and I talk to everyone about how you need one.
Yeah.
How can we help you guys, as well?
Come in. If you love horses, you love farming, come in and volunteer. Listen to this podcast. If you know somebody that has a child or a first responder in their family that feels like some sort of experiential and non-traditional form of therapy might be effective for them, we would love to help them. Sign up for special events. Become a part of the Hunkapi family. We love to have people at the farm, and we have lots of events. We just had Easter at the farm with 400 people. So we have a lot of going on. Go to our website. Everything's listed there, hunkapi.org.
I love it. We'll have that website in the description of this episode and our YouTube channel. Before we leave, one last question. What's your favorite Scottsdale vibe?
My favorite Scottsdale vibe is I love being a Midwesterner. I love seeing horses walking down the side of the road. It's still magic to me. It is.
They have their own crosswalk button. Let's be real.
I know. It's crazy. I love that. I just love it. And I love the farmers market and all the delicious restaurants that we have here.
We're very lucky.
We are.
And we're lucky to have you. So thank you to you and your whole team up there. Again, go check it out at hunkapi.org, and then we'll have the website link in the description. But as well, don't forget, I'd love to talk about all of our amazing community members, including our favorite State Farm agent, Jeremy Mueller. So giving back to the community is also a top priority for Jeremy and his team, as we have heard many times before. He has been here for over 25 years, helping neighbors just like you with home, auto, life, and business coverage. He knows our city, our lifestyle, and our needs. Plus, with 3 local offices, he is always close by. Give him a call at 480-515-5223 or visit jeremymueller.com, because here we look out for one another. And if you want to know what's going on outside of Hunkapi, to see what's in Scottsdale to keep you busy, go check out all of our social media links on Instagram, and we will have everything out this week that's going on. Don't forget to have fun, Scottsdale. Keep vibing, and I'll see you around town.